in an effort to reveal multi-level layers of human personality in a way that is simple and yet it's not simplistic, you know. And so you can spend like 10-15 minutes to answer it. Actually, original testing has 40 questions, but we even lower it down to 60, still make it accurate. More than 97.5% type accuracy in describing our personality in a very unique way. If you look at your chart on the next page, you will come to realize that it not only reveals your motivational level, it also reveals your strengths and demerits and then your weaknesses. Each of the color brings its own limitations to deal with. But what's really interesting about this personality color codes is that, you know, we are motivated, it tells us how we are motivated by different things. Therefore, I cannot stereotypically, you know, use one motivational tactic in an effort to, you know, motivate people. Different people are motivated by different things. And then, of course, different people have different strengths and so on. And not only that, in the end, I want to talk about how each of us are different in a way we communicate. And in order for me to communicate with red, you know, the way you communicate with red has to be different than the way you communicate with white and blue and yellow people, okay? Because different personality communicate things differently. To get their attention, we need to communicate things according to their color codes and so forth. So this actually, Dr. Taylor's personality color code has been widely used by Fortune 100, Fortune 500 companies in the US. That's why how it became really, really popular. So I got a hold of it about 10 years ago, and I've been using it whenever I do seminar, you know, because even though we have a lot of personality tests out there, but this is simple enough, and yet something that people can take away with a lot of insight. So that's what we're offering it today, and I hope that you'll be able to gain the blessing from, okay? So the reason why I divide people up with according to color code, so that you would know, you know, not only your color, but you would know other people's color. You would know how many of you guys are red, okay? And how many of you guys are blue. And there's so many blue people here, and enough red here. And then we have so many white here. Wow, don't they look white? Okay, so we have so many white people, and then we have so many what? Yellow. How many of you are yellow? Come on, raise your hand. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, you guys didn't take the test. Didn't have the test. Oh, sorry. We ran out, huh? Okay. So as we talk about it, hopefully you will like identify. Okay. So we have 4 identified as red, as yellow. Okay, and that's okay. That's okay. So let's start with red people. Okay. Let's talk about their motivational, what they are motivated by. Okay. Red people are motivated by power. Okay? That's why you find red people are the CEO of the company or president of the company. They need to be the director and so on. At least they need to be the director of their home to begin with. Okay? And they are into power. Okay? And then often than not, red people are known to be pushy and bossy. In a good way, not in a bad way, in a good way. Okay? They're often being bossy over the things that they want get things to be done. And they want other people to listen to them. Okay? Because what? Because these red people believe that they are always what? Right. Right? Right? Yeah, red people believe that they are always right. But the statistic shows that they are only 49% right. Why? Their answer to that question, to that statistic, is that, you know what? It's because other times, 51% of the time, people ended up not listening to them. So, and that's how they see it. They think that they are always right. Well, I mean, if you think that you're always right, you would end up pushing your ideas on other people, right? For not their benefit, for the benefit of other people as well, right? And so that explains why they tend to be bossy. They're decisive, okay? They're a very good leader. They're efficient and effectiveness oriented, and they're goal oriented. They go for something and they do not deviate. You know what I mean? So I love being with red people because they are very productive. If I ask them to do something, they will get things done. I think this project, this building project, would not have been done unless there were some red people in this church participating in this thing, right? How many of you guys involved in this church building project? You, right? Okay. So that explains, right? So without red, we do not have a roof on the top over us. And they're very productive and efficient. And that's why we love them. We appreciate them. Amen? Amen. So red people has their own strength. And it's not a time to talk about their limitation as yet, okay? So let's make them feel good about themselves to begin with. And while we move on to the blue people, and then my wife will talk about the blue people.
Okay, I can talk about blue because I'm blue. And what motivates us is we like to have meaning in life. We cannot just do things without having it meaningful. So what motivates us is we like to be it's meaningful, and then we like to be appreciated. Of all the colors, we are the most respected of all colors because we are very law-abiding, moral people. We have high standards for ourselves and for other people. And we are fiercely loyal. When we don't need a lot of people, but we only need few people, but when we get to know these people, we are very, very loyal to people. And we are very honest. We cannot be democratic. You know what I mean? Just act or pretend. What we wear on our face is how we feel. We cannot pretend. And so we are very nurturing. We take care of people. So of all the other colors, we are always blues because we take care of other people and not take care of ourselves. That's how I got sick. So we have to be careful to take care of ourselves and nurture ourselves. But we are very genuine people. So, blues.
So I appreciate blue people. To add to that, I appreciate blue people because without them, life has no warning sign. You know what I'm saying? Without them, we cruise along as if everything's alright, you know. Blue people, like, as long as things are productive, they think that everything's fine. But then blue person come along and says, we should live this way, we should do things this way, you know. And then a lot of times we think that blue people are making, how many of you live with blue as a spouse? A lot of times we think that blue people are the ones who's making our lives miserable or difficult and hard, right? But what we need to realize that it is also hard for them to be with the other colors. So even for the blue people, Jesus needs to come really fast. Okay, because the genuine people have a more struggle to deal with in this, you know, facade and superiority, in this like really superficial culture. If you're genuine, you know, you have more struggle to deal with, right? Yeah, and then so much for that. But blue people, when they are motivated, since they are motivated by meaning and appreciation, if they are appreciated, they can even go to the moon and come back and listen to the moon kid, you know? Because they can really go out of themselves, do things if they are appreciated, okay? And so we appreciate them for providing meaning in our lives, okay?
We have some few men that are blue.
Oh, yeah.
Are you blue?
How many men who are blue? One? Okay, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What, 7? We have so many. We have 7 blue men in this church. You know what blue men man stands for? Blue man has a greatest capacity to be very romantic.
Very romantic men. Okay. They love to take care of you. They're fine gentlemen.
These are romantic guys.
Oh.
They're romantic guy. He loves sunset, you know? Very romantic. Right? He loves sunrise, so very romantic, right? Okay. So,
Very nurturing men.
lots of times, blue men are misunderstood as being feminine. They are not feminine. They're just more in touch than regular men. And they tend to be viewed as being moody sometimes. But they are not being moody. They have a greater need. They discern the need to be connected with other people in a way that's meaningful and create bonding and so forth. So these men are to be honored, and these men cannot be disrespected. Okay? And the worst thing that can happen is that, how can you be less sensitive? No, you cannot do that. You know, for them to be sensitive is truly living out their manhood as a man. Okay? So we honor all the men, including all the ladies as well. Okay? And so life is hard for them sometimes because of their genuine spirit. We're going to talk about their limitation later on because they cannot handle that right now. Okay? Okay. And then so much for that. White people, we have so many white here. White are motivated by peace. Last thing they want, they don't want to fight. They want to make it peaceful. They rather give up. They rather give in to find peace. But get this. They seem to give in. Listen very carefully. They seem to give in. They seem to, especially when white people are connecting with red people, if they white and red live together, and red seem to get their ways and they're always winning and all that. But in the end, guess whose desire, whose will gets done in the end? White. So they look like white on the outside, but they have a crazy stubbornness about them. But while red people are finding their ways to get it, they found a way to get it without fighting. So you need to watch out for white people. But they are from UN, United Nations. Okay? They make a very good diplomat. They don't show their emotion on their face. So you don't even know that they're angry, they're mad at you, they don't like you and all that, because they don't show it on their face. They're white. But blue people, they show it on their face. Red people, yeah, they make it known. But white people, they don't make it known. They're very calculated in that way. One of the greatest strengths that white people have, even though we have a hard time figuring them out, they are the most patient people in the whole world. For them to lose patience, that's the end of the world sign. Okay? Yeah. If red people says that they can no longer be patient, then I don't take it serious. If blue people says that life is no longer meaningful, life is meaningless, I take it serious. But if white people come up to me and say, you know what, Pastor, I cannot tolerate nor be patient with my husband one more second anymore. And I said, whoa. Tell me about it. I take it very, very serious, because one of the greatest mark of these people is love and patience. And then their patience to things, the way they talk, sometimes work against them. And that's the thing that I'm going to talk about later on. Okay? But in general, I love being white people because at least I like the vibe. They make my life peaceful. Even though I do not know what they're thinking inside, deep inside. But at least it appears to me that they're at peace with me. You know, with red people, they make it known. With blue people, they make it known. With yellow people, we'll talk about that a little later. Okay? And so, white people are extremely peaceful oriented. Okay.
Okay. The yellow people, I married one. So, these are the people that have a lot of energy. And they need to have fun. They're motivated by fun. Is that right? Right. So they're very energetic. And they have a star mentality. They like to be popular. Yes. To like to be liked by people. And they're actually blues. I want you to take a look at yellows. Are you yellows back there? You're blue. Look at your over there. You're blue.
Okay.
These only three, are we yellow? You're blue, you're yellow, so just two yellows?
Yellow.
Oh my goodness, only two. Okay.
That's okay because one yellow can take care of it.
Okay, we blue need yellow people, okay? Because they make life fun, and sometimes we blue take life too serious, all right? So we need some yellows. And if you tell the yellow people, I'm going to buy lunch for you, they will always come up and show up. So call on the yellow. But these yellow people are charismatic. They can be very great leaders, have a lot of energy, and then when you guys find structure, if you can find structure and be disciplined, you guys are going to be the most amazing leaders. Okay? So you are sociable, you can talk to anybody, you know, and very well connected, and so it's really pretty good there.
Yeah, if you're yellow, you know, you're so charismatic, like I said, even if people may not like you, but they end up having lunch with you, they end up liking you, you know. And so yellow people they have that soul power pop. And Mr. Reagan was like that, you know, his political enemies, whenever they had lunch with him, then they end up being with him, becoming Republican, you know, and all that stuff. And so, to talk to yellow people, you cannot be too serious. You know what I mean? You have to be fun. I have a yellow cousin, but whenever I talk to him, and then I ask him, hey, okay, by the way, he doesn't have a girlfriend. Okay? When I talk to him, I say, how's your girlfriend doing? He doesn't have a girlfriend, right? I know. But then he goes, which one are you talking about? You know, the other people are crazy, you know, they're so fun, you know. And so, I love yellow people because I'm one of them, you know. And we'll talk about our problem later, okay? And then, what's interesting is that if red people, you know, the way they deal with speed limit is different than other colors. Red people will deal with the speed limit by putting a radar detector. Okay? If the radar detector says fine, then they go 90 miles, 100 miles per hour. And then blue people, they go up.
We're moral people, right? If it says 65, we're going to go 64. Keep the law.
64.5, right? And then white people, they try to decide whether they go or not, so we don't know for sure. Okay? And then the yellow people are the ones, sorry to tell you this, but yellow people are the ones who tends to get the most tickets. Because they go by their feelings, they go. So, when it comes to potluck, okay, I'm using this illustration not to put you guys down, okay? Well, you guys are different. This blue, this red is different, but these are only in red. As you can tell, right? They are only in red. But if I use the illustration of a potluck, red people, forgive me using this illustration, it may not describe it. They may bring the stuff that are easiest to cook or cheapest to cook or whatever, right? But the blue people, they bring the stuff that they don't even eat at home, like precious mushroom from Seattle or somewhere, okay? They bring this, really special stuff, and then when they see red people bringing like, cheapest stuff, and they get mad and they lose their sleep. And then white people, they're still deciding whether or not they should come or not, so we never know for sure, okay? But with yellow people, if you ask them to bring something, they never bring them. And then their excuse is, I forgot. But they never forget to bring themselves. Because they think that it is a mission for them to come to power, come to fellowship, because without them, no fun. And so don't ever ask them to bring anything. So let us take a moment to praise different chords. Okay?
Okay, since the your favorite word is "you are always right." Let everyone tell Red, "You are always right." You are always right. Shall we say that? 1, 2, 3. You are always right.
Yeah, he says, I'm always right.
Does that make you happy?
You are always right, and then they go, I told you so. Always right. And then blue people, okay, when it comes to blue people, you cannot just say it. You have to really mean it. You have to be genuine, okay? If you say, I appreciate you, you know what I mean? Yeah, so you need to really, I really appreciate you, okay? So you need to say, I really appreciate you, okay? Okay, everyone, see? I really appreciate you. Wow, this guy knows how to do it. While he was saying it, he almost died. So let's say what?
I really appreciate you.
I think you have some yellowness within you. And then with white people, just leave them alone. No. We need to appreciate them for who they are. I had some funny experience with this girl who came to me for counseling, 13-year-old girl with a mother. Mom is red, but they don't know their color, and then I didn't know that they didn't know the color. But when I look at them, mom is red, because mom is trying to tell her what to do and all that. And she cannot handle this girl who is just like taking a long time, they're not decisive and all that, just driving her crazy. And the daughter is like, mom is too overbearing, and she kept on telling me like, after mom is like pushing me all the time. She never gave me my own time, my space and my pace of doing things. She always rushing me, and she never accepts me for who I am. I need my space, I need my pace. So without me realizing, I told the mother, hey mom, sorry mom, your daughter is really, really white. And then she goes, yeah, my daughter is really, really white. She only hung around with white people. But you remember what she said? I need my space, I need my pace. You know what I mean? And so white people, what you don't want to do is to push them. If you push them, they will go far away and never come back. They will leave outside of Sabah. They'll move to Penang. Okay? So you cannot push them, and yet we need to allow them to have their own space and pace. We'll talk about that. So how do we address them? We tell them, we accept you the way you are. Okay? If you accept them the way they are, they're going to flourish. They're going to really blossom. You know what I mean? If you push them to be someone else, then they go away. And they go into their own cave. Yeah. Okay, and then they make their own food there. They don't know how. Okay. So, let's tell white people that we accept you the way you are. Okay? Everyone, say it. We accept you the way you are.
Thank you.
Thank you. And then some of them like, let's see how they really think that. I'm not gonna say anything. Okay, yellow people, they want to be the stars, and then So we tell them, let's raise them up. Would you please stand?
They like attention.
Okay, give them big hands. Without them, this church is dead, no fun. Okay? And so we tell them, you are so much fun. Okay? You are so much fun. And then one more thing. They need to hear more. So, you're so much fun, and then they say, you are cool. Okay? Okay? Not cold. Okay? Cool. Okay? You are, everybody, you are cool. Or you can say, you are the coolest person I ever met in my life today. Okay? Okay, that's great. That's great. Let's move on to talk about some of the challenges that each of our colleagues shares. Okay? Let's start with red. Red people, since they think that they know what's right, they know what's the best for everybody, they have a tendency not to listen to anybody. They always tend to have people to follow them. If everybody follow them, everything will be alright. And so I would like to challenge the red people to two things. To be teachable. If you can somehow to realize that other people also matters and other people also have opinions and they also can bring wisdom and insight into your life, and to be inclusive in the circle of learning to be teachable. And then ask other people an opinion as well. Especially your marriage, you ask your wife, you ask your husband for an opinion and for their opinions to matter and to be included. It's going to be very important. Because in doing so, not only you're going to bring greater teamwork, you'll be able to what? You'll be able to live life and not being in a lonely place. Because a lot of red people end up being lonely. Because they end up leading people, they end up sacrificing a lot, and yet they end up sacrificing the relationship to a point where they end up being isolated, being lonely on their own. And you don't want to be in that place. I've seen in a case on unhealthy red end up, I'm not on any of that. I happened to see in a case where the red person, unhealthy red person, end up having to die by herself or by himself. Why? Because nobody wants to be there. You know? And then you end up being in that isolated place. And only the person who are there are the ones who are paid to be there. You know what I mean? And so you don't want to sacrifice relationship for the sake of productivity in your life. Being efficient is not as important as being what? Being connected to people and so on. Remember that people are your resources as well. Life is going to be about what? Teamwork. It's not going to be about you leading the rest. It's going to be about team. It's going to be about what? Building relationship with people. And as long as you can learn that, you're going to be like Paul in the Bible. Paul was red. And then he was able to relate. He was able to put people first. He was able to express himself in a way that other people follow your leadership because you lead them with affection and with certain leadership. And with that, you're going to be someone like powerful over the world. Amen?
Amen.
So let's give the red people a big hand, okay? Try to be embracive and be teachable, and then put people first in all that they do. And they will be great in the sight of God. Okay, let's talk about that.
Okay, Blue, since we are very highly moral, we are very hard on ourselves, right? We're hard on ourselves and we consider ourselves. And we are very idealistic. You know, we have certain ideas or certain things have to be certain way. But is that like that in real life? No, that doesn't happen in real But once we close our heart, that's it. It's like the Noah's Ark. Not even the angels can open our heart. So we have to protect ourselves from becoming hardened, because when we get hurt so much, it's hard for us to forgive people. And because we're always taking care of other people, we have to learn to take care of ourselves and not burn out. Because of all the colors, we are most prone to be depressed. Because we are burning ourselves, we are extending ourselves, because we give 200% of ourselves, right? Yeah, we give so much of ourselves. So we have to learn to take care, to pace ourselves, and and then we will be very, very powerful people.
And how many of you living between red and blue? Red and blue. Oh. Are you blue or red? Okay, blue. If you're red and blue, okay. Wow, the red husband and the virgin wife. Blue, okay. Red husband and blue wife. How many years you been married? 30. Red husband and blue wife to be married 30 years and living together in peace and harmony, it's a miracle. Because they tend to be one of the most conflicted couple who would make the counselor rich. So for them to work it out and live together in peace and harmony, right? For the most part. Yeah. Okay. Well, when she says yes, then that means yes. Right? And how do you guys make it work in your relationship?
When you are in this position as leaders, tends to be able to have more than one color, because it's the dominant color. And once you understand how these different colors work, you know your limitations, and you can work it out. Yeah.
And so you'll be able to accept your limitation and then allow her strength to help you, because she's more relational. She's a woman and she's blue, so she's really blue, and so she's really helped you, will help you in terms of relationship, while you help her to have a focus and direction and structure and be productive and all that, right? So your secondary color is blue. So you allow your blue color to come out when it comes to relate to her in a romantic way. Here's a red man who's really romantic as well. Okay? Okay, amen. Okay. And then here's an interesting thing. He's blue, and then you're white. Oh, she's not here today. Okay. So, what color do you think she has? Yellow. Oh, red and blue. Okay. Well, my wife and I, she's blue, I'm yellow. So, we'll talk about it when she comes, okay? Yeah, that's pretty interesting. For the limitation, when it comes to blue people, we talked about that, right? Two things. Don't take life too serious. Love to have humor. If you need humor, bring yellow people for lunch. They will come from Penang. They will fly out to meet you, okay? For free lunch. And secondly, don't expect everyone to be like you. You have an ideal and reality is always, there's a big gap. Nobody can be like you. For everyone to be like you, that can be a problem too. Okay? And so, you need to learn to adjust and learn to let people be who they are as you allow yourself to be who you are. And so important lesson to learn. Okay, learn to self-care, that's what Drew talks about. White people, one of the greatest challenges for white people is your strength. You are able to bear and be patient and be able to tolerate. And sometimes it works against you, because you're bearing the things that you're not supposed to bear. You know what I mean? You're patient with things that you're not supposed to deal with, such as abuse of someone. You can bear till the end. And then sometimes it works against you in such a way that you would make the other person become a greater abuser in a sense. And then you allow yourself to bear that anger and resentment deep inside. And then that's going to grow. And then one day it's going to explode. And so a lot of white people, when they experience in a relationship, and then they go quiet, they will fine, and then what? Oh, as far as other people are concerned, man, I never knew that these people are angry. They can be angry, and then they, explode with anger. And so that people cannot handle that, and they have no way of understanding who you are. So I have an advice for you. If you're white and be comfortable with who you are, that's okay. But learn to come out of your own safety zone. In that you need to learn to be able to be a little bit uncomfortable when it comes to expressing yourself. Because if you don't, only God knows. Nobody will figure you out, So you need to learn to be more expressive. You need to learn to be able to see things from your heart. And don't bear it along the way too much, because it's going to hurt you, it's going to work. When you suppress things in your heart, it becomes a digestive problem in the end. It doesn't go down very well. Then you're going to have what? Problem with your
digestion.
constipation. Okay? And then you're going to end up having problem with constipation and all kinds of, stomach ache and all kinds of issues, and then you will end up having constipated spirit. Okay? So that's why it's so important for you to, even if you don't feel comfortable, learn to push yourself to be expressive and to let yourself know and learn to say no to certain things, because bearing it all along is not always the best policy, especially when it sacrifices your own health. Right? And so learn to be expressive, learn to be vocal, learn to be assertive certain times. Because let me tell you, out of all this group, who will be the most, I would say, who will be the most artistic people among you guys? So it's these people, white people are very artistic. And then they are very smart. Do you know why white people, many times, do you know why white people remain quiet? Because while you're talking, while yellow are talking, while blue are talking about meaning, while red people are talking about, we should do this, you'll make more money and productive and all that, and then white people are quiet, remain quiet. Why? Because they feel like none of them making sense. So you need to allow white people to talk sometimes, because when you allow them to open up their heart, oh boy, they can give you the kind of insight that can really bless everyone else. Okay? And let's talk about yellow people. My wife is going to come here and talk about yellow people. Okay? She's an expert on yellow because she's been living with me for the past 30 years. Okay? And then between my wife and I, she's blue, I'm yellow. We had such a struggle in our marriage because I had so much energy. She talked a little bit about it. I had so much energy. I didn't have enough structure in my life. And then, so that would drive her crazy. And so our love relationship was always hot and cold, and I didn't know why we were so hot at 1 minute, and then we became so cold next minute. I was make it crazy.
This is the limitations we're talking about. So the young, since you guys have so much energy, you can go for so long. And the thing is, you have a lot of energy, but sometimes you don't know where you're going. There's no structure, and since you guys have so much energy, you guys are also undisciplined. You can be all over the place. So if you can learn to be disciplined, have structure, plan, then new kids in an hour. They're coming over, you know, freak me out. It's not just one time, all the time. Like so many people inviting too many surprises for you. You know, stress me out, my blood pressure up and down. So that was hard living with a yellow husband, you know. And so that was the hard part. But so if you can find structure, discipline, and learn to plan, then you guys, and then organize, and you guys are going to be very, very powerful. But my husband is being like that now.
I have no other choice, but I'm just kidding. My wife really helped me to grow, but first when I got married, you know, one thing I couldn't figure out was that I can never be fully accepted by her. She would always, when I felt like I did so well on every point, she would always be able to point out one thing that I didn't do right. Oh, that drove me crazy. That made me feel like I'm never good enough, right? And that's the trouble with, you know, blue people. They're very critical, and a lot of times what they say is true. But I never felt like I was fully accepted until I came to a place in my relationship with God, in that I didn't have to be accepted by my wife to feel accepted. If you understand what I mean. I was already accepted by God, and therefore I don't have to hunger and beg for that acceptance that my spouse provides. And in that being accepted by God, I was able to live out my life being confident and so forth. So from that point on, I stopped being insecure in my relationship with my wife. Whatever she suggests, if I think that it is objective enough, then I would embrace it and accept it. I would work on it. And then you know what? That's the reason why I am getting better every day in my ministry, because she's like my partner. You know, even after we finish our talk today, on the way home, she would tell me, you did a great job and all that. And you know what, for next time, we could do this to improve. And then if I feel insecure, then I would be like, you go and try it, if you can do as much, as better as I do. No, I don't have to argue with her. I don't have to put her down. I don't have to be defensive, because I'm being objective about learning what I need to learn to grow, because I'm a bigger man. I'm a man anyway. Where a man doesn't come down to, you know, to a level where you become so insecure and all that. You become, you know, confident enough to deal with any criticism possible, right? And so we were able to work out our relationship in such a way that now we are a team for God, and then we ever grow in our relationship with each other. Okay? And so much for that. Let's talk a little bit about, but let's finish it soon, because I know time is already up. We're going to talk a little bit about the blending between the colors. What if red and red come together? What's going to happen? War? No, I said red and red come together, living without really well. Is there red and red here? You both are red. And they don't look dangerous to each other. You know, and they make it really well. What's interesting is that when red and red get together, one who is more red become red, one is lesser red become white. Because somebody has to follow. But I've seen in a case where red and red come together, and then they focus on being productive, and they make it really well. Like, hey, next year, let's buy BMW, and next year, both of them are dentists, and then, hey, next year, let's buy new practice, and they keep on growing in that way, and then they make it really well. And so, red and red get together, it works out, it can work out, you know, if you accept the differences and so forth. But what's interesting is that one person who's lesser red becomes white, but he's not really white. You know, my cousin, right, my nephew and his mother was white, red, and red relationship. And the mother didn't know the son was red because he always seemed to be quiet, not knowing what to do and so on. And by the way, white people need more time than red. If you have a red mother and white son, man, God bless you guys. Because mother is always like ongoing and then, doing things speedily and then they're into efficiency. While the son is like taking his time, sweet time, they give him more time. And so when red mother can do it in 15 minutes, white son, they need like 1 hour to get things done. If you're a white girl, then you need more time, right? And so, our speed is different. So what's so interesting about this dynamic between mother and son, who's all red, both of them are red, and then mother thought that her son is white because, she thought that he doesn't know about his direction because he was never, being expressive. And then in the end, what she found out was that her son never wanted to do the things that his mother wanted him to do. Even though he ended up going to PUC Pacific in college, he never wanted to continue. And so one day mom gave up on him. Mom said, you know what, I'm going to have 1 more year to support you, and then you're on your own. And then son goes, Mom, can I do what I want to do? I said, what? You know what you want to do? And then son goes, yeah, I always have something I want to do. And the mother goes, really, what is that? And then son goes, Mom, you will be shocked to hear this, okay? You might have a heart attack. And if I tell you what I want to do, well, tell me what you want to do. I'm going to support you as long as it's a decent thing. And then son said, guess what the son said? Mom, are you ready? I want to be a fashion designer. And then mom goes, you don't even know how to color match your clothes. How can you be a fashion designer? You see, Mom, you told me I could do whatever I wanted to do. And so mom goes, okay, I'll support you, Mommy. Came down to LA, worked on his portfolio. Didn't know anything about fashion designing. Worked on his portfolio. Within a year, he came up with a portfolio. And then, guess what? He ended up getting accepted to Carson, which is a very prestigious fashion design school in New York. And then he finished his school, and then he got accepted to work as a designer for Calvin Klein. And then he ended up going to Italy to learn more about designing. And now he came back as a famous designer. He's designing clothes for women. You see, when you suppress the red as red, you may end up misunderstanding that your child you're dealing with might be white or some other color, when in fact he is also red. Okay. What if we talked about blue and red? In that, as long as red person do not make his wife feel that he's too insensitive, he's not able to connect, then he'll be alright. And then, as long as blue person does not come out in a way that her way of criticism do put him down and so forth, then it's going to be alright. And I have one more thing. How about white and white? How many of you are white and white? Nobody is white and white? Okay. How many of you white and red? Okay. So you are white, and who is your husband? Up there. Okay, your husband is red. Okay. So you're red? Yes, he's red. Okay. He's red, and then he could turn me off, so I'm being careful. so your husband is red and you're white, okay? And how long have you been married? 8 years. Why don't you come up, because your husband is way up there, so why don't you come up? Red and white. What are the challenges that you face in your relationship with your husband?
Sometimes
What do you appreciate about him? Let's start.
Okay.
Let's start. Can you
I
make
appreciate he's loyal, very patient sometimes, I guess. Patient and
He's red, he's patient.
yeah,
Wow. The ball game red.
maybe to me, but not with the kids. I guess. He's patient with kids and let's say he does work hard.
Yeah, red people work really.
They're very loyal to the employer. And he's very funny.
He's funny.
Yeah, funny.
So he
Sometimes,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Funny sometimes. But most of the time I'll be the most cheering person in the whole.
Right. Oh, you like with the show.
Yeah, because of the kids, so I have to be funny.
Oh, yeah.
Most of the time.
So you both are working really hard to be funny.
Yeah.
No, just kidding. And then what is one challenge that you feel that you are learning about your husband and relationship?
What I learned is I need to be. What I learned is I need to be more patient because he is sometimes not teachable. Yeah, and
Not teachable. That's
not
a
teachable.
Correct.
Not teachable. They have their mindset and they stick to it, and they will not listen until they fall to some ground where they regret the very most. And that's where I have to bear. I have to endure all the way. Yeah, with him. Yeah, it was difficult. Yes. Yeah.
But then God has given you extra ability to be patient. So you have no problem being patient, right?
No problem. Don't when I blow up.
So that's the key. That's the key. Before you blow up, you need to be open-minded enough you need to push yourself enough to be able to share what you need to share. Otherwise, he would never be able to fully understand where you're coming from and so forth. Do you have something to say over there? No. Okay. Okay, God bless your relationship, okay? How about anybody yellow and blue? Yellow and blue? No? Yellow and blue marriage? No. Okay, bless your heart. Paul was red, and then he learned to be expressive, he learned to connect, and so he became one of the most people-oriented, God-loving, and he was able to accomplish a lot as a missionary. And yet, he gained so many people, and so many people loved him because he led them with affection and so forth. And then he led people with humility, and so he did amazing things. There's one person in the Bible who's blue, John, and the disciple of Jesus Christ, and also Barnabas was very people-oriented. Even Paul had to listen to him because he knew, what he was saying was true and was right. And blue people, if you can only learn not to take things too serious and to allow your ideal to come down to reality, to a point where you accept the reality as you continue on with your life, instead of instilling your ideal all the time to everybody. Your life will be amazing. And learn to take care of yourself, very, very important. But, that is one of the most difficult things to learn. Because you were made to take care of other people, and then you end up not. You probably are the one who goes to eat the potluck dinner, the potluck line as the last person in line, right? And so people around you need to take care of blue people. Yeah, because without them, we will also fall. We will lose quality of life. Okay? And then for white person in the Bible, who would be white person in the Bible? Moses, one of the most patient person in the Bible, became great leader. But in the way that God revealed himself to him, everything was different than the way he revealed himself to red people. To the white, God appeared in the midst of the bush, burning bush, because the white people are inquisitive. They ask a lot of questions. They don't dare to do anything until they know for sure. And God allowed Moses to be a great leader, a great man of God. Right? But in the end, he lost that temper. You see? He was being patient for how many years? 40 years. Quite a man of God. Right? Who would be a yellow person in the Bible? There's a yellow person in the Bible who did some crazy things for God. Peter in the Bible. Peter in the Bible was so yellow that he would talk about things that he doesn't even know about. So Peter is the one who says a lot of things, and then sometimes God says, get the devil out of me. And then there's sometimes God says, you know what you said is not from you, it's from the Holy Spirit. And then Peter was so passionate for Christ that he was not willing to die, die like the way Jesus died. So he had to die when he was on the cross. He had to die what? Upside down. They're crazy people. But if they become crazy for Christ, then no one can stop. Right now in my life, traveling and all that doesn't give me as much as fun than me sharing about Christ with others. In Christ, God has helped me to take the fun to the next level. Now what makes my life fun is to do things for God, for Jesus Christ. And that's why all of us in our lives, we have a model to follow. Right? Paul to follow, and then John or Barnabas to follow, and then Moses to follow, and then Peter to follow, and then we need to allow our strength to be given to God, and then allow our limitation to be covered by the strength of other people. Because life is a teamwork from now on. Amen? Amen. We're going to work together as a team. And then God is going to make it beautiful in all of our lives. Okay? If Jewel had the final word to say.
I'd like to end with that. Remember the best and forget the rest. Remember your strength. Maximize on the strength. Don't try to correct your limitations. You hear what I say, right? So I want everyone to say, remember the best.
Remember to say the best, forget the rest.
So see the beauty and the best in each other. Okay, because that's how God sees us. And in love, it's love that's going to motivate us to be better.
And one more thing I want to say in closing. When it comes to communication styles, when it comes to red people, no crying would help. Blue people can be emotional and then they come to red people and then they cry and then red people goes, you know what, save your tears for my funeral, okay? And then tears don't work very well. Tears don't work very well because they're into efficiency and all that. So when it comes to red people, you guys, when you talk to red people, don't try to get emotional. Don't try to give them, long, introduction. They hate it. They say, what's your point? Get to the point, and they say. So when you talk to them, give them 10 things you want them to change. If you don't like them, go there and tell them, you know what, I don't like that about you. If you tell the blue like that, they might die. They might get so sad, and then they will go home and thinking about what that somebody said, and then they would lose sleep all night, all day, And so with red people, be direct with them. It's okay. Be upfront with them. And then just point by point, you talk to them, okay? And they'll get it, and they will follow. I have this one red husband who cannot stand the nagging on his wife. Hey, how come you didn't take out the trash? You always don't listen to me, blah, blah, blah. And then he said, you know what, honey, you just tell me what I need to do, 10 things, and I'll do it. And he ended up doing it. So you need to talk to red people in an efficient way. When it comes to blue people, totally opposite. You have to give them a very long, nice introduction. We appreciate you. We like you. Okay? however, you know, and then you can talk to them, hey, these are some things that I have issues with you and so forth, and they are more likely to listen, okay? And so with blue people, you need to make it meaningful. You need to have some introduction, prepare them, appreciate them, open their heart. You know, blue people need to be understood in order for them to listen to other people. White people, when you talk to them, don't push them. Don't push them. But then, don't leave them alone. Because if you leave them alone, they will never come out and talk to you. Okay? Because you need to keep them living. So when you have issues with them, blue people want to resolve it right away. You know, red people want to resolve it right away. Blue people want to resolve it right away. White people need some time. Don't take it as a personal rejection of you. When they say, you know what, I need some time off. Okay? Give them some time off. And then tell them, you know what, I'm going to give you 24 hours. And then after they come out of your cave and talk to me. And then they will come out in 24 hours. You kind of need to keep them living. Okay? That's the Hama. And that's how you talk to them. With yellow people, even with the serious things like I already said, you need to be kind of creative. You know, you cannot say, you know what, I have some serious problems, they will run away. And they will never come back to church. And so with yellow people, you need to be accepting and you need to be funny, you need to be creative, you know, and that's how you're going to talk to them. If you were to win white person to the Lord, if you were to win blue person, red person to the Lord, you can like challenge them. You can, you know, you can challenge them in any way possible. Like the way God appeared to Paul on the way to Damascus with a searchlight, bam! And then, you know, blind them. And then he got it. But you cannot do that with white people. White people with a burning bush, you know, and the fire burns a little bit and it goes away and then they go crazy, try to, you know. And so with white people, you can never push them in evangelism. You know, there's a guy who knows how to get white person, and they go and sit with them and don't say anything. Because they don't like you to come and talk to them too much, and no, just sit with them. You say nothing. You say nothing, and just sit there, be comfortable. And then you know what? And the white person ends up talking, ends up opening up, and hey, by the way, and then hey, let's go bike clean, and then hey, let's go do things. And then white person open up. When white person open up, it is like opening up to few people in their lives. It becomes so precious. When they open up, you earn their trust. And then when you earn their trust, you lead them to Christ. That's how you do it, you know. And then, like I said, you know, red, you know, with the, you know, yellow people in your life, you learn to be creative. With the white people in your life, you learn to be patient. With, you know, red people in your life, you learn to be focused and you learn to be efficient. With blue people in your life, you make your life meaningful and make it connecting and bonding at the same time. So we really, really need each other. Like my wife said, remember the best and forget the rest. In other words, I cannot say to a red person, well, you're so efficient, but no but, okay? Yeah. If your wife is like, you know what, you're so, you know, you're very thoughtful, you take care of other people, that's it. That's all you're going to honor. Because I want to end with this note. A lot of the worst thing that can happen is for us to try to, you know, overcome our limitations in an expense of not being able to utilize your strength. You know what I'm saying? We don't have enough time to mourning over our limitation, but we only have enough time to maximize our strength. So when I go to church, I need to ask, what is the best contribution? What is the most contribution that I can provide to further develop our church? That's all I need to think about. That's all we need to think about. We need to allow our strength to make it powerful, make it stronger, make it to become a powerful couple or team for God. Okay? May God give you the passion that you need. May your love relationship, may your life as a young person, may you continue to grow, continue to shine, because all of us are in this ever-getting principle, the power of knowing Jesus Christ. Amen? Amen. God bless each and every one of you, okay? And live up to your calling. Don't hide it. And learn to break the common traits of other people to make it complete. Okay?
Thank you, Pastor Hyun and Sister Jewel. I'm really blessed by by today's sharing. How many of you feel you're blessed? Raise your hands if you feel you're blessed. And say thank you, Pastor and Jewel, for all the knowledge you've given to us, and so unselfishly you spend the time and to come here and share with us. In this moment, we have our elder for the health and family department, Elder Alvin, to share a short gift. And after which we will have Elder Patrick to say gift of closing prayer.
Thank you very much, Teresa. I personally have been very much blessed by the seminar, and I'm so glad that we have blue, red, white, and yellow coming together, and to realize that actually God made us all that way. He had put us in different colors, and He did not end there. I remember very well, after the flood, you remember, He told Noah, He showed in the skies of a rainbow. They all come from the primary colors. So this shows how much God loves each one of us despite of what we are. So, on behalf of the Health and Family Department of the Sdakkcityengchrch English SDA Church, I would like to extend my greatest thanks to Dr. Om and Jewel, the wife, and for coming all the way from the States to give us this kind of seminar, which is very, very beneficial. And this leaves to us, I can assure you that the families of the families in the church would learn to live a better life and enjoy a better life with the kind of knowledge that you have imparted to us today. So the oncoming couples intending to get married, learn from this experience of today and the blessings that you can have and the joy of really being married. So again, thank you very much, Dr. and Mrs. Ong, for coming all the way to this part of the world, Sabah below the wind. Thank you very much, and may God continue to bless you as you continue the ministry. I think it is very important, and it makes a difference in our lives today. Thank you.